Here we go again, guys. Are you serious? Are you serious? Welcome to August 1st, 2025. And the rockets are flying again in the last 7 minutes. There has been 6 rockets that have been launched from Yemen by the Houthis inbound right now. Let me tell you about exactly what's going to happen here in just a second. First, real fast shout out, if I could, for www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. If you're getting close to retirement or you're just thinking ahead, you're probably done a solid job of saving. But there's something most people don't consider is how much of that money is just sitting in cash. It might feel safe, but holding too much cash guarantees one thing: you're losing purchasing power. Inflation eats away at it, and the dollar's value keeps slipping. That's why more people are looking at real assets like physical gold or silver to protect their savings. And one company that makes it easy is Noble Gold Investment. You can buy gold or silver, coins or bars, and have them shipped to your home or stored securely. It's a smart way to convert cash into something that actually holds value: gold, a biblical currency. And at Noble Gold, it's fair, it's transparent, they don't pressure you, they ask you where you are in your life cycle. It's just solid information, real options. Do this right now. Click on that link below the video, go to www.pastorpaulgold.com, or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. Guys, I promise you, you'll be glad that you did, okay? Wow. All right, let me tell you what's happening now. Rockets are flying. There's been 6 of them that have been fired, have been released. We are ahead of everybody, okay? Everybody. I mean, there's no mainstream media information on this at all. None. And they're not too worried about it. They don't care. If this was missiles flying into any other country, it would be breaking news everywhere and red alert. But here's what I can tell you. This was the 67th missile launch since March, since the ceasefire with the Houthis in March. And then this just happened 13 minutes ago. Sirens have been triggered in central Israel and in Jerusalem as the Houthi missiles have launched. They're still headed toward Israel as we speak. We're waiting to find out if the Iron Dome knocks them down. The 6th ballistic missile launch by the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen. 6 missiles on the way right now. I even went to some of the live feeds out of Jerusalem and out of Israel to see. Nobody's even covering it yet, although sirens are going off. We don't know if, at this moment, nobody's been hurt, but these rockets are going to hit very soon. Now, since March 18th, and the sirens are going off in Jerusalem right now and central Israel. So it looks like they're not firing them at Tel Aviv or at the Ben Gurion airport, or Haifa. These are going directly toward Jerusalem. There are no immediate reports of impact yet. Now, since March 18th, the IDF has resumed its offensive against Hamas in the Gaza Strip. The Houthis are in Yemen, have launched 67 ballistic missiles. Now you can add 6 to that, and at least 17 drones at Israel since the ceasefire. That's since the ceasefire. This is unbelievable. And now, why is this happening, you ask? It's the 9th of Av. Tonight, as the sun sets in Jerusalem, it's the beginning of the 9th of Av, which has always been the dreadful day that many, many terrible things have happened to Israel or to the Jewish people on the 9th of Av. The first temple in 586 BC was destroyed by the Babylonians, desecrated on the 9th of Av. The second temple was destroyed by the Romans in 70 AD. After it was desecrated, they began the process of tearing down the temple on the 9th of Av. There was the 11 Israeli Olympians that were shot and killed, murdered in the tarmac, getting on the airline in Germany in 1972. It happened on the 9th of Av. There was the expulsion of Jews being kicked out of Spain in 1492 during the 9th of Av. They were also kicked out of Europe. That in other places, there's been so many things. If I could come back on here and give you a rundown of just how many things. Hitler announced the Jewish solution, okay, which was the beginning of the Holocaust, the extermination of Jews. He started it on the 9th of Av. He signed the document to start what's called the final solution. That's what they called it, the final solution. Now they have what they call the two-state solution. But the final solution was signed by Adolf Hitler on the 9th of Av, and they began gassing the Jews and killing them. So right now, we're aware right now, sirens are in central Israel and Jerusalem are going off right now. The Houthis have launched 6 missiles. We're waiting for impact, or will the Iron Dome knock them down? I'm letting you know that they're on their way in, and we need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem as we begin. It's about sunset. It's right now 1 o'clock Eastern here. They're about 7 hours ahead. That would make it about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. The sun is just now setting. It is the beginning of the 9th of Av. And the Houthis are going to be the ones that are, and here's the thing. It may not just be the Houthis. It might not just be the Houthis. The Houthis this could be a distraction. The Houthis could be firing the beginning. They may be the ones that fire these initial rockets, but there may be other planned terrorist attacks or war attempts coming from Syria, from Hezbollah, Lebanon. It could be the Palestinians in the West Bank, which is Jerusalem and Judea. Judea and Samaria. They may rise up. They may have some kind of car bombing, or they may decide to just run people over on the streets of Jerusalem. Anything you could think of is very possible. We don't know. The Iranians may be going to fire ballistic missiles. You don't know. But when it's the 9th of Av, you do not know what they may do. This might just be the beginning. Hope it's not. Hope that's just a one-shot 6-rocket deal, get knocked down by the Iron Dome or David's sling. Because there's a war going on. And these are the days that they like to make their move. I mean, this is the time they like to do it. So please pray for peace in the Holy Land at this very moment. Now, give me just a moment here. Let's see if I can find out anything other than what we've been able to find out. But right now, that's where we're at. 20 minutes ago, the Houthis launched 6 missiles from Yemen headed toward central Israel and Jerusalem. Those missiles are not headed toward Tel Aviv. They're not headed toward Haifa. They're headed for Jerusalem on the 6th of Oz. So, the 9th of Av. I said the 6th of Av. The 9th of Av. And so, Steve Witkoff has been in Gaza. He spent 5 hours in Gaza looking at the level and looking at the facts about the humanitarian situation, and says it's incredible, but most of what you're seeing is deliberately being staged by the Palestinians. Apparently, they're starving their own and then using them for propaganda. Not that there isn't a shortage of food, and not that there isn't it's a serious situation. Obviously, it is. It's been brought on by Hamas, it's been brought on by the Iranian regime. But Steve Witkoff is there. He's reviewing what's going on. He's saying that there can be no more partial deals. Israel is saying, look, Hamas must go. And actually, they're saying their stance would make a major shift for Jerusalem, which has said they would be willing to do a phased framework for which peace could be achieved, but that framework would have to be the surrender of Hamas and the release of all the hostages. Well, obviously. And Hamas is saying, no, we won't surrender, so we're not going to let go of the hostages. We're not going to surrender. So Hamas is saying, we'll let the hostages go if we are allowed to remain in power in Gaza. And Israel's saying no. And then you got the rest of the world that's screaming two-state solution, which Israel's absolutely saying there's no way. And America is really about the last nation that's standing with Israel on this situation. So what if a rocket hits, somebody said, let me see. What if a rocket hits Jerusalem and then they go dig and find the Ark of the Covenant? Well, I mean, that's always possible. I mean, they will find it if you go under those. If you go under those tunnels, it is sealed in a sealed compartment that it's been sealed away. And the Jews know where it's at. The rabbis know exactly where it's at, but they're not going to open those compartments, those sealed compartment, and get it because the temple's not built. They're not going to bring it out. It has to be brought out, carried by 7 priests, according to the Bible, and walked into the Holy of Holies and set down there. And then they got to be very careful how they do that. And if anybody touches it, they'll die. That's already happened before. It's so powerful. The Word of God, written on tablets of stone, given to Moses with the fiery finger of God's hand, is inside that Ark of the Covenant. Also the staff that Aaron used that budded, came back to life. It's there also. And that golden bowl that was full of manna from heaven. Those are the 3 things that were put in the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark itself is in a sealed compartment under the Temple Mount. So this is where we're at. Guys, if you haven't got your tickets for the webinar, Silencing the Serpent, this would be a perfect time to do it. We are live right now. I'm breaking in live right now. It's going to be a very significant situation here in the Holy Land. We're waiting to find out if the 6 rockets that were fired, we're waiting to see when they're intercepted. It shouldn't be long now because it doesn't take forever for these. It used to be the sirens go off when the rockets were over the head, was into Israel's airspace and was getting ready to come down. That's when the sirens would go off. But Israel has been able to upgrade its system to now, as soon as rockets are launched out of Yemen, Israel knows exactly where the rockets are going. So apparently they have this ability to scan and read the GPS coordinates. And they know exactly where they're going. They know exactly when they're launched. And then they're able to sound the sirens well in advance to give the people opportunity to run and get into the shelters, the bomb shelters. Now, if there's hundreds of rockets being fired all at once, or 1,000 rockets in a course of a night, then it becomes chaotic, obviously. And some of those get through. It overwhelms the system. This is 6 rockets, and that's what we understand right now. We do not have confirmation yet that these rockets have been intercepted, and we don't have confirmation that these rockets have hit. Hamas just aired a video of the hostage Avatar David while air sirens are going off in Jerusalem and central Israel. Now we do have confirmation IDF has downed one rocket. They have shot one down. There were 6 that were fired. We know one has been shot down. One's been intercepted by the Iron Dome. But this video was released of one of the hostages alive. And I'm not sure, but I think that might be the guy that they've had for 11 years. I mean, he may not be part of that. No, he was taken captive on October 7th, 2023. And they just released a video of him. In the video, he's alive. But the question is, when did they film that video? The IDF chief said, we'll know in coming days whether we can have a partial deal if it's possible. If not, we're going to fight on. Sirens were triggered in central Israel and in Jerusalem. One rocket has been intercepted by the IDF, by the missile defense system, the Iron Dome. The ballistic missile launched by Iran's backed Houthis a short while ago was intercepted by the Iron Dome. No immediate reports of any impacts or injuries. Sirens are still sounding off in central Israel and Jerusalem. Hostage's mother, after watching the Hamas video of Avatar David, says, "This is the Holocaust 2025. Her name is Vicky Cohen, whose son named Nimrod, his name is Nimrod, is being held captive in Gaza. She watched the recently released Hamas video of the hostage Avatar David. Holocaust 2025. David's family has not yet approved the release of this very hard to watch video. So we can't see the video yet. The family has not yet approved releasing this video to the general public. Hamas sent the video to the IDF. The IDF has showed it to David's family. And they have yet to release it to the public. It's very hard to watch. Don't know what that means. I just know that 6 rockets are headed toward Israel. 1 has been shot down. There's 5 more coming in, apparently targeting Jerusalem, not targeting Tel Aviv or the Ben Gurion airport, not targeting Haifa, not headed toward the Galilee area, but is headed for central Israel and Jerusalem. So we'll continue to stay focused on this, since this is a situation that's actually happening right now. Gentleman says the Blessed Mother is the new Ark of the Covenant. If you want to find it, turn to the Mother of God. Victoria says, yes, found by Ron Wyatt. There are people that believe both those theories. Now, also today, Canada says they will recognize a Palestinian state. They are going to recognize the Palestinian state. This is coming to a huge vote at the United Nations this September. And France has already said they're going to declare a Palestinian state. And now Canada says they're going to declare a Palestinian state. Germany says they're going to declare a Palestinian state. The United Kingdom has not spoken one way or the other. America has said no. China has said they'll declare it. Turkey is going to declare it. Pakistan said they will declare it. And many, many nations, the whole Arab world, and about half or more of the African nations. We're still waiting to find out what the Central American and South American nations will do. NJ says a two-state solution in Israel is the precedent for the two-state solutions everywhere. God will not tolerate this or those backing a two-state solution. Jeremy says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. That is John 14:27. Miss ED is reminding you, you can get your tickets for Silencing the Serpent webinar. It was phenomenal. And Mike from the World explains that battleground of the mind and the 5 procedures that are already in play for mind control of the entire world, for the populace of the world. These procedures are in play, and AI and big tech is involved heavily in making that happen. Charles B. Squire says the ark is under Golgotha. He's referring to the Ron White theory. So I thank you guys for your comments and appreciate it greatly. Today is the 9th of Av. Yes, as the sun is setting in Jerusalem, it begins the 9th of Av. It will go until sunset tomorrow. So we're now under the 9th of Av. It will be observed tomorrow, but it starts now. America will observe it. Yeah, I know. But in reality, the 9th of Av has begun. And that's why there's so much pressure here. And this is why I believe the missiles was fired out of Yemen. Is this, Supernaut says, here's a stat for you, folks. Since October 7th, 2023, today is day number 666. It happens to land on the 9th of Av. That's just incredible. BP Earthwatch in the house. And yeah, BP, I got this morning and I was just, Heidi and I decided we were going to go get a little breakfast. And I said, well, I'm going to just throw on. So I threw on the Heads Up BP Earthwatch t-shirt and the matching hat. We went and had breakfast and had to run a couple errands. I got back home, and as we're walking in the door, the missiles started going off, and it was just fired out of Yemen, headed toward Israel. And so that's why we're here, and that's why we're wearing the BP Earthwatch gear, which you can get at his website at bpearthwatch.com. So we're really in a situation here, guys, where, and BP says there's a large celebration going on right now at the wall in Jerusalem. JT says last night's broadcast was great. I thought it was too. I actually think it was one of the best we've ever had. BP was great. Mike was great. The information was really a right now word, right on time. Excellent broadcast. And I think that if you haven't listened to it, you got to do that. So Donald McCarthy says, I just got here, so I guess the Houthis launched the 6 missiles. You're right. Donald, you're right. And one of them has been intercepted by the Iron Dome. I'm going to, mainstream media now, they may have started to cover it. I know at the time I went live here, not one news network in the world was covering it. Just the app of the sirens going off, 6 rockets released out of Yemen, released by the IDF on X. And so I just immediately, Heidi said, it's happening. And I could hear the sirens, and I just immediately clicked the button and went live. We have more, now we have news. Hamas aired a video of one of the hostages, Avatar David. They released the video, and the same time they released the video of this hostage, he's still alive, or at least he's alive in the video. The same time they released the video, they also, Yemen fired 6 missiles. And this is the 666th day of the war. And it is the beginning of the 9th of Av. And so the sirens started going off everywhere in where? Jerusalem. And as BP Earthwatch said, at the wall in Jerusalem, there was a big celebration. There was, a lot of times there's special celebrations. There's usually celebrations almost every day there, but big one today, probably celebrating because of I'm not sure yet, of the 9th of Av. Hostage mother, after she watched the Hamas video of her son, says this is the Holocaust 2025. They say the video is very hard to watch. I don't know what that means. Now, the IDF says we've intercepted the Houthi missile, the first one. I also got a report that the IDF says we'll know in the coming days whether we can have a partial ceasefire deal or not. If not, we will fight on as the sirens continue to go off in Jerusalem. So that's, and Steve Witkoff was just there. Matter of fact, he spent 5 hours in Gaza looking over the food distribution process. What's been happening is Israel's been releasing food. I mean, lots of trucks, but it's the Hamas that intercept it and then withhold it from the public and sell it and distribute it to some, hang on a second. And that's part of the process of the staging, the propaganda staging of starvation. I'm not being naive here. I do know that it's chaos in Gaza and that there are people that are looking for ways to get their hands on food and that it is a chaotic situation trying to distribute the food. And there's no doubt that there's been people who have lost their lives in this process because you do have a war going on and you do have booby traps that were set up, and there was about 5 Israeli soldiers who died during one of the processes of trying to let the food trucks go through. I mean, you've had different things like that. And also we know that there have been civilians who have been shot and killed accidentally because of trying to make the safety for the food distribution. I mean, so it's not a deliberate, like you're seeing the media, this massive deliberate starvation, like Hitler did the Jews in the ghettos of Warsaw, Poland. That's not what's happening, but that is what's being portrayed That is exactly what's being portrayed by the media and by Hamas's propaganda machine. And they will starve some of their own people and then film them begging for food. I mean, guys, they've been setting their own people up as human shields forever. They don't care. It's never been about helping their own. King Mind says the devil is deceiving the world with propaganda. I agree. Russia has now armed their dead hand system, so it is really, really escalating. Donald McCarthy says that. There's some comments going on. I really don't want to get into, debating between Israel and the Palestinian situation. But I appreciate the comments. Frank Pryor says Jerusalem is God's city. It's a bad choice trying to destroy Jerusalem. I have to agree with that. Laura Jackson says our president better stand with Israel. If the United States declares a two-state solution, we're gone. I'm going to have to agree with you, Laura. We definitely don't want to be a part of creating a forced. You have to understand, the United Nations now, they want to force. They're not saying ask Israel to give up land and we're going to make a two-state solution. They're saying force Israel. Take part of Israel's land and use military strength to force a two-state solution. To vote on it and force it. And there was a 3.0 earthquake just hit Arkansas. Thank you, Levant. Is that Levant or Levante? There we go. Amos Levante. Thank you, Roxanne. So, so people are making some. Pastor Paul, you should interview Ron Wyatt's son. That would be a great interview. Appreciate that suggestion. It would be good to hear his father's view and information. Ms. Z likes the shirt and hat, the BP Earthwatch shirt and hat. You can get that at bpearthwatch.com. Matter of fact, BP is in the chat room. He did not ask me to put on his shirt and hat and promote him. He did not ask me to do that. I got up this morning and put him on myself. Had no intention of going on camera. I decided to go to breakfast with Heidi. I had, just so you'll know, I actually had French toast with some bananas and strawberries and some kind of berries. What was it, Heidi? Breakfast this morning. What did I have? I had French toast. Uh-oh, something's going on. Yeah. Yeah, bananas, berries, and French toast. No, your phone is not in here. Sorry. So, guys, that's where we're at. I don't know if there's any more rockets going to be fired. If this was just all they were going to do was fire these 6. Let me see. I'm hoping that they have knocked them all down by now. It is the beginning of the 9th of Av, and it's and they're firing them at Jerusalem while there's a celebration going on at the wall. Give me one moment here. Let's just see. Hamas has aired a video of one of the hostages, and his mother watched the video and his family. They are heartbroken. And his mother said, "We're watching the Holocaust 2025. We don't know if he's alive or dead, because they could film him and then, we don't know. It has not been released yet to the public to see this video. Not yet. The family hasn't released it yet. They say they've not yet approved to release it. It's very hard to watch, which is disturbing. Okay, now we have information coming now. Just 2 minutes ago, a deal will take a long time to reach if Israel shifts its course to pursue a comprehensive Gaza plan. So Hamas is saying if Israel wants to do some type of comprehensive rebuilding Gaza plan with Israel remaining in power, then trying to put a peace deal together with Hamas will take a long time to reach. Which sounds to me like they'll never surrender and never give back the hostages, and that you'll have to systematically, piece by piece, search every tunnel, go through every building and dig it out till you finally root it completely out. And that would take a while, and that would cost a lot of Israeli soldiers' lives, and there would be more Gazans that would, Palestinian Gazans that would die. The Palestinians are really not Palestinians. They're Arabs. And they're really mostly from the nation of Jordan. Most would be from Jordan or part of Saudi Arabia or part of Egypt. But they just use the term Palestinian, which is coming from the word Philistines. So that's where we're at right now. Give me one moment. I'm going to take one more peek at what's happening here. Shabbat Shalom. It's sad what's going on, but it is happening. But we're praying that the rockets have been intercepted. No injuries, no damage, no injuries. And no, there's no, even AI doesn't even know it happened yet. We're ahead of them. And then looking at see if there's any other news coverage. No. No one. No news outlet has covered the rockets fired into Israel today that I'm covering. No one. Now, I would say they'll probably get around to it at some point, maybe. They're not too interested. Now, if one of them hits a building or kills some people in Israel, they may then cover it at some point, but it's not happening. So anyway, that's where we're at. We know for sure it is happening, but there is no other than the Israeli site Times of Israel is the only one that's reporting that the rockets were fired by the Houthis at Jerusalem. And they're also the only one reporting that Hamas aired a video of the hostage that they, Avatar David. And that's it. No one else cares. So I got some Perrier. Perrier is a mineral water made in France. I like Perrier, but I don't really like it in a plastic bottle. It really needs to be in glass. I mean, I'll drink it, but you know, it really needs to be in glass.
Saturday was
I
silent,
mean, I'll drink it, but
and surely it was through.
you know.
Since when has impossible ever stopped you? And Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of a dry bones rattling. This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power, it runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. My God is able to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that He wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that He can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden what happens when God says to move. I feel Him moving it now. I feel Him doing it now. I feel Him doing it now. Do it now. Do it now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah, this is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them,
I have breaking
Thus
news.
saith the Lord God, Behold, my people,
United States.
I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring
Reli-
you into the
President
land
Trump
of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord.
is
And I
deploying
will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You shall live, 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 live.
United States deploys nuclear submarines. I'll tell you right after the song. All right, I have some breaking news. Was just released 8 minutes ago. Breaking news. This was just released 8 minutes ago, happening right now. U.S. President Donald Trump says he has ordered the deployment of 2 nuclear submarines in response to the highly provocative comments by senior Russian officials, based on a very highly provocative statements by the former president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev. President Trump said, I have ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be positioned in the appropriate regions, just in case these foolish and inflammatory statements are more than just that. Trump has just made that comment. He posted it on his Truth Social platform. Quote, words are very important and can often lead to unintended consequences. I hope this will not be one of those instances. So, Dmitry Medvedev making highly provocative statements about the United States, threatening the United States. Donald Trump has responded and said, I'm going to deploy 2 nuclear submarines right now, and I'll put them in the 2 appropriate regions that need to be positioned in the appropriate regions, just in case these foolish and inflammatory statements are more than just that. Then Trump says words are very important and can often lead to unintended consequences. I hope this will not be one of those instances. So this just happened. That just happened 10, 12 minutes ago. Now, David or Avatar David, the hostage who Hamas released the video of, just commented and said, after watching this very hard to watch video of her son, she said, this is 1 million punches to my heart. The family has not yet released the video to the public. But one of the sisters, or the sister, I don't know how many he has, but a sister of the hostage is now asking the public not to share this Hamas video. Very hard to watch. He's been a hostage for today is 666 days on the beginning of the 9th of Av. I keep saying it's tonight, but I'm wrong. It's actually tomorrow night. So it starts on Saturday night at sunset. and is observed all day Sunday. So we're so here we are. So I apologize for having my days. I'm forgetting what day it is. It's Friday. Okay, I'm so sorry. But we are on the beginning of the Sabbath. Okay. Then the 9th of Av starts on Saturday evening. So my bad. It's a very sad time. Guys, I'm going to let you go. It's a very dangerous time. We're in the end times. Please pray for the peace of Jerusalem and also pray for peace in Europe and pray for peace between the United States and Russia. What? Give your life to Jesus Christ because it's almost over. If you haven't read my book, Revelation 9:11, you can get a copy of it at Amazon.com. Or if you want an autographed copy of it, you can order it from my website at PaulBegleyProphecy.com, and I'll personally autograph it with a little note for you. Each note is different. Or if you want to just order the audiobook, it's at Audibles. You can go there and order it at Audibles. They just released it yesterday. The audiobook of Revelation 9:11 has just been released. You can get that today. Start listening today and start listening in the next 10 minutes. I'll talk to you guys later. God bless.